When looking back at my first preliminary task, my college magazine entitled The College Cut, and my magazine Blue Streak now, it makes me realise how far I've come. I think that more than anything I learned that the quality of your images was one of the most important things in making a magazine look as realistic as it possibly could. For the college magazine, my images, they weren't well taken. I don't think I was, bossy enough when doing my shoot, and I think because I had so many people in the photos, and I had about 5 of my friends in the shoots, it was hard to control them, and I think my images really suffered from that. So I learned that when I did for my music magazine, I made sure that I only used one person and everything was really, really planned. All aspects, from what she was wearing to the setting to how many looks I wanted to put her in. I put her in 6 different outfits. Everything was really, really, really well thought out because I realised what a difference a good picture would make. I think another massive issue that I've had throughout the whole of this process is timing. And I think from my college magazine, I didn't realise how long and tedious things like Photoshop and Pages actually are. It looks really simple just putting font somewhere, but actually it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of thought. So when it came to making my magazine Blue Streak, I made sure I planned the process a lot more in advance, so then when it came to doing Photoshop and stuff like that, I knew exactly what I wanted. With my music magazine, I took a lot longer focusing on the font and the text and the way it was looking visually, where on my college magazine, I know we had a shorter amount of time to do it, but I bunged it together. And I don't think that with my college magazine, all the stuff flowed together. It was all mismatchy. And I learnt from that when I did my music magazine. I made sure all my fonts were of the similar type and everything went together for it to all together look more professional. And I know I've said it so much in my blog, but one of the things that I struggled with most, I think, was technology. I'm not very tech savvy, to say the least, and I felt like it was working against me a lot of the time. It was a lot to take in and it was a lot of information, but I think one of the decent things about doing this experience is I really, really learnt from my mistakes, and every time I did go wrong with Photoshop, I did learn something new on the way. I do think I realised a lot more from my college magazine to my music magazine about how much Pages could help as well. On my college magazine, it was only really a fun cover and the context was very, very amateur, and I didn't realise how much Pages could help you. Whereas when it came to my music magazine, I used Pages a lot to do the double page spread and the contents page, and it really, really helped me out. I think with the whole writing, you could do the thing where your writing goes into a different paragraph, and just to do with the text and stuff like that, it made it a lot easier. In Pages, I would describe it as just kind of a snazzier version of Word, but the little features do really help you out and they are very time saving, and when you are using Photoshop, that does take up a lot of time, so I really think Pages helped. I think from the preliminary task as well, I learnt a lot more about the convention. I'm glad I didn't jump into the music magazine kind of gung-ho with it, because I didn't realise how many little features made up an actual magazine. I mean, it was just small things like font size. Like, I didn't know that in most magazines and newspapers all the font size is 8 point something, and I had no idea about that. And when it came to my college magazine, I didn't really focus on that as much. I don't think there was consistency and continuity in my work. But when I came to doing my actual music magazine, I've made sure I incorporated that, and I think that that made a massive difference for it overall looking a lot more polished. I also got a stronger understanding about how many literature features are used, which is great because I'm an English student, so I feel like that really helped. But when it came to it, I didn't realise, magazines use alliteration and they have stuff like that, all to subconsciously get the reader involved and listening. I think overall, the preliminary task to where I am, I've improved greatly, and I think you can just see that by looking at my work. I am glad I did the college magazine, and I remember at the time being really proud of it, but from where I was then and where I am now, I feel like I've come on leaps and bounds. I think all in all, I'm extremely proud of the work I've done, and I think you can see how much effort I put into all the little details and features. I really focused on how the details all made the piece look as one. I feel like from the preliminary task I have a greater understanding of all the different forms and conventions of a magazine, and I believe that it did really help me with my final piece.